Board of Education meeting.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Madam President, I make a motion we approve the agenda with the following amendments: additional certified and classified personnel actions, item E3, remove item E4 lighting upgrades, and add as item G1 under new business, and remove item E4D, custodial supplies, district-wide, and add as item G2 under new business.
It's a motion to approve the agenda. Is there a second? Second. It's moved by Tom and seconded by Laura. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed? Same sign. Motion carries. At this point, it looks like we do have a public comment. Lori Chapman, would you like to come forward? Just talk to the board, sure.
My name's Lori Chapman, and I'm here on behalf of my son, Cortland Bean, who's a student at Garden City High School. He would like to apologize. He had to work tonight, so he couldn't come on his behalf. He's a junior at the high school, and this year, one of his teachers, Mark Calvin, has nominated him to attend the National Youth Leadership Council in Washington, D.C. It's an 8-day event. And give you a little background on my son. He's one of 2 students that had the highest score on the history assessment this year. And so he has a rich passion for history and the government and how it interacts and what its function is. He had for a while entertained an idea of becoming a history teacher. I think he's now thinking he's going to join the military once he graduates and become a chaplain in the military. So we're still wavering. He could go back to the teacher thing. But anyways, the reason why I wanted to bring this to your attention, Cortland had his tuition for the event this summer is $2,500. He has so far raised $2,000 of that on his own through family and friends. And the weather hasn't been real cooperative. We've been thinking of doing some car washes, but with the weather being what it is this year, we haven't been able to embark on that yet. So he still does have $500 to raise. He is looking for some sponsorships. And so we thought maybe it would be appropriate to come to the board and let you know that one of your exceptional students will be representing our community in Washington, D.C. this summer. It's my understanding there's about 250 students that get to go on this trip, and they are kind of the top students in the country. So he will be interacting with a great mix of other students and potential leaders for the future. So I wanted to thank you for the opportunity to speak today.
Well, thank you very much. Sounds like he's a really bright young man, and I'm sure he'll do well. So that's great.
I'm very proud.
I bet. Is this U.S. history or world history?
World history. He started out, he's an encyclopedia if you ever talk to him. He's got more knowledge on U.S. history and now world history than even I do as an adult. So he kind of graduated as he grew.
Well, tell him we're proud of him.
Thank you. I was
Please do. Thank you very much, and good luck to him and to you all in your fundraising efforts. So, great. Thank you.
I have one question.
Sure.
Do you think he would be willing to come back and report to the Board of Education on his experience?
Once he gets back, I'm sure he will.
He's spending 8 days in Washington, D.C. I'd like to know what he thinks of that experience and what he gained from it.
I've been encouraging him to put a PowerPoint together to take to some of the people that are sponsoring him so that they can see. I know he says he's going to have about 3 or 4 different cameras on him while he's there, so I'm sure he'll come back with lots of information as well as visuals, so. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Can you give the address to Miss Nelson where we can send a check if we want to?
I will do that. Yes.
Looks like we need to move on to some recognitions. And the first one on the list is the wrestling team, the state champion wrestling team.
Eric Delarosa is here this evening to introduce the coaches and allow, I think, the coaches to talk about the team and the line. Eric, thank you.
Hi, I'm Eric Delarosa. I'm here tonight representing Martin Segovia. He had a busy schedule and he asked me to step in. So he wanted me to, first of all, comment on how proud he is of Garden City High School 2012, 2013 activities and athletics programs. Being a new school, the programs, every program's excelling to the highest standard right now. But I do want to recognize one of our state champions this year, and that's our Garden City High School Class 6A state champions. I don't see head coach here, Carlos Prieto, but I do want to make a comment real quick. He was voted by Kansas wrestling officials the 6A Coach of the Year, so I want to be sure he's acknowledged for that. And then his assistant Paul Lappin's here. If he come up and oh, there's Coach Prieto right there. Right, timing was perfect. Coach Prieto, want to come on up here? And I'm going to let them introduce their team. I just wanted to introduce our coaches.
Perfect timing. I didn't have to talk.
All right, where are we at? All right, well, first of all, good news is I didn't get a speeding ticket coming in. Got a college visit today with my daughter, so that's why I'm late, so I apologize for that. So anyway, well, let's see who's out here. First of all, 106, Michael Prieto, come on up. He was state champion this year. Also happens to be my son. Efren Sanchez, 113. Michael's a freshman. Efren is a sophomore. And Efren was one match away from placing this year. So I look for great things next year. 120, Matt Uritia. He's a junior. Had a great season as well. 126, Alec Castillo. Another freshman, wrestled 126 for us, and he was fourth in state this year. 132, Tevin Briscoe, sophomore, state champion. So a lot of young guys up here so far. 138, AJ Hurtado is working today. He couldn't make it, but he's a senior. He took second for us this year, runner-up. He was also state champion last year. 145, Trevor Kennedy. Looks sharp and pink there, Trev. Senior, he was a state runner-up this year, had a great season. You know, a lot of predictions going out before the state tournament. A lot of people thought that he wasn't going to even be in the top 6, and wow, they were dead wrong on that. So anyway, runner-up for us. 152, Chris Adler. He's not only a wrestler, but he's also a track athlete, so he's at a track meet in Salina right now. He was 5th at state this year. And Chris is a junior. 160, Zach Finch. Come on up. Great season for us. He's a sophomore. One match away from placing. I think he just came from the golf course. That's his golf shoes. 170, Anthony Gardner is not here. I think he's also at a track meet. And he's a senior, and he was a state runner-up for us this year. And 189, Juan Carlos Rodriguez is not here. He's a senior as well, and we're going to miss him. 195, Sammy Reyes, a junior. He really made a lot of great progress this year, and he ended up in 3rd place for us this year. And then finally, another wrestler here to make up what we call the Lucky 13, Samson Abdalco, wrestled 220 for us. And these are your wrestlers here. Now I want to introduce some other people that were very, very important as well. We couldn't do it without our managers. Hillary Hurtado, is she here? Yep, there she is. Did a great job for us. We asked a lot of these young ladies, her and Jordan Arlano. Jordan, is she here? I think she's a softball player, so she is gone. And then Josh Harbor, our photographer. I asked him to come on board this year. I knew that we were going to have a special year, and it was very special, and he was kind of our photographer to document things. My coaching staff, Coach Lappin did a great job. He does everything on the website that you see that deals with wrestling. He does it, and he does a great job keeping stats and everything. Just got a couple text messages a while ago from my other coaches. Kevin Perez, he's ill tonight. Great addition to our staff this year. Jacob Waller couldn't be here as well. And then Ryan Cromer, my other coach, and he's a baseball coach as well, so he couldn't be here because of that. But great group of young men and ladies here, guys and gals, and we did some great things this year, and hopefully we'll continue that tradition. So thank you very much for having us.
Coach, while they're going through, I just want to add real quick, Coach Prieto don't brag enough on his team, but I've been going to the state wrestling tournament since 1989, and they dominated the state wrestling tournament, not just by a few points, but they had it won the first day. And we haven't done that since I wrestled for Garden City High School in 1990. So,
another quick point, we were also first team all academic as well. 3.5 GPA.
Thank you very much.
The team looks like a group of gentlemen, too. I appreciate that.
We had a lot of great compliments. I can go on and talk about the team, but that was probably one of the biggest things that, as a coach, these guys, they've always acted first class, and got stopped several times in the restaurant after everyone was done, made sure everything was cleaned up. But there was always someone in there that said, "Wow, you guys, you got some great young men and women there." So, and that doesn't happen very often.
Starts at the top, so I appreciate you setting that
Well,
example.
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. You all have done a great job. I mean, you've not only inspired your school, but you've inspired the community. Thank you so much. Great job, guys.
Thank you very much.
The Buffalo Broadcasting System TV and PBS radio students.
Well, due to a lot of spring sports and activities were rescheduled because of rain, snow, and sleet and everything last week, and we're scheduled for tonight. We don't have as many with us as we'd like to have, but we do have several of our representatives here of our students that did an outstanding job this year in the Kansas Association of Broadcasters State Radio and Video TV competition. This year there were 393 entries from across the state of Kansas. There were 73 awards given out. And of those 73 awards that were presented, 31 of those came to Garden City High School, Buffalo Broadcasting TV and Radio. We claimed 13 state champions, 11 state second place award winners, state runner-up, and then 7 state third place awards. So we had a really good season this year with 31 award winners. The next closest to us, if you could say if there was kind of a team competition going on, the next to us I believe was 14 with Hayes High School with 14 awards this year. So 31 to 14, I guess you could say, is the final score kind of for second place. I'll let Mr. Bernal do some introductions here to our radio students that were able to come and weren't able to come this evening. Chewy, go ahead.
And just as you saw with the wrestling team, there's different weight classes and you can have separate champions in those categories. Similarly here, we have different categories, whether it be 60-second public service announcement, 30-second public service announcement. One of the kids who were able to be a state champion here, Austin Terpstra, I'll recognize him. Go ahead and take a step forward. This young man was a state champion in 30-second public service announcement, telling the world a little bit more about leukemia. Additionally, he was also the state champion in sportscast. This is a category we've won consecutively for, I think, 6 years. And he carries on the tradition with, I believe it was a 5 or 6 minute sports radio cast. I did send everybody on the board, I'm sorry Dr. Ath, I didn't get one to you, a copy of all of the winners that we had and a link that you can click on and listen to what these students actually made. Each one of our state award winners, of those 11 state champions, you have that opportunity to check out and see what these students are actually producing. And of course, you can always listen to these at www.gckschools.com/radio, 24 hours a day, and check that out as well. I should point out that from these state champions and these awards winners, we did have one student who attended the Kansas Association of Broadcasters Student Seminar, and John McClellan went to Topeka about 2 weeks ago to receive all of our awards. And based upon her achievement in here, which of note, I believe she's the first female state champion in play-by-play for radio, and she also won in television as well. She was able to go get an internship this summer with Cumulus Broadcasting in Topeka. So there's some opportunities here, not just to win state championships, but to move down that career path with internships and jobs in the future. So of those, we had state champions in PSA, 60-second PSA, public service announcement, tapes, sportscast, newscast, hard news package, play-by-play, documentary, entertainment program. We did face some fierce competition from Dodge City, who's now getting into the game. They have an incredible instructor down there. But they have a little bit more to go to catch up with these guys who are becoming pretty seasoned veterans. So, Shelby?
Yeah, Dodge has also started their program up and doing quite well. That's good to see. You know, we'll welcome competition. Okay, quality wins. Stop right there, okay? With us this evening, we have a few more of our state champions on the TV side. Austin, if you'd step forward, please. Austin Terpstra not only was a state champion in sportscasting on the radio side, he also had the state champion sportscast in television with his show Beyond the Baseline. And Austin's been a finalist and an award winner in this for a couple of years. Now he's finally become the state champion in that event. We also took second place in that event, first and second, so that was really good for us. Okay? Not being able to be here this evening, Mr. Bernal mentioned John McClellan. Her and Mitch Moore did sports play-by-play for television for us, and as Mr. Bernal said, this is the first female winner that I believe the state has had in sports play-by-play broadcasting. So John did a great job, and you know, as Mr. Bernal said, was able to pick up an internship there. With us this evening, Ryan Suderman. Ryan, would you step forward, please? Ryan and Tucker Schiffelbein produced a public affairs program about almost 30 minutes long with Colonel Phillips of our JROTC program. They put together a 30-minute show. Interviewing was what Tucker did, and Ryan did the kind of behind-the-scenes directing and post-production work on it. And they claimed a state runner-up in this category, which is really tough to do. And we've done well there with that. Ryan, congratulations. Not with us this evening is Jacob Thomas. He had Station ID, which was a state runner-up. Our fifth-hour news team. Evan, would you step forward? Evan's the only one that could make it this evening of our guys, but Evan, Brad Swick, and Trace Woods were the state runner-up news team in the state of Kansas for live news. Now, that's really good. Last year, we went 1, 2, and 3 in the category, first, second, and third. This year, we were second and third, so we have 2 of the 3 best news teams in the state of Kansas right here in Garden City. And Evan was our sports host for that part of the show. Let's see, let's go to second hour live news. Jackie, Molly, would you step forward? Jackie and Molly here were this was a 4-person news team that we had. Jackie Cow, Molly Peterson, Mitch Moore, and Tucker Schiffelbein. They were the 3rd best news team in the state of Kansas for live news, which it can't be pre-recorded or anything. It's got to go live right out of the studio. And this group went live right onto Channel 21, and we took it straight to the community. And they did a great job and got real good scores for that. We had several other award winners, but just couldn't be here this evening, again, due to conflicts with sports schedules and everything else. So these are 5 of our students that are representing them as our state award winners this year from the Kansas Association of Broadcasters for Garden City High School.